It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. I will call this meeting of the Miami Township, Montgomery County Board of Trustees to order. If everyone could please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll. Mr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Posey.
Here.
And Mr. Culp.
Here. Chief Stegelmeyer, reading of casualties.
Good evening, Board. The following is the list of the first responder casualties for the period of December the 6th through December the 19th of 2023. Police Officer Paul Tracy, the Waltham Police Department, Massachusetts. End of watch December 6, 2023. Deputy Sheriff Paul Martin, Mercer County Sheriff's Office in North Dakota. End of watch December 6, 2023. Sergeant Stephen Gibson, the Somerville County Sheriff's Office in Texas. End of watch December 13th, 2023. And Deputy Sheriff Joshua Hamilton of the Preble County Sheriff's Office here in Ohio. End of watch December 18th, 2023.
If everyone could please join me in recognizing a moment of silence. Thank you. I see no planned guests or presentations on the agenda. I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
Mr. Culp.
Aye.
Moving on to new business. Mr. Snyder, you have resolution 110.
Good evening, Board. Resolution 110, 2023 is a resolution to replace a departing member of the Hillgrove Union Cemetery Board of Trustees. There are 3 trustees on that board. Each of the trustees is to be jointly appointed by the City Council for the City of Miamisburg as well as the Miami Township Board of Trustees. It's our understanding in discussions with the city that Eric Flasher has agreed to serve on the Hillgrove Union Cemetery Board of Trustees, and therefore we have a resolution before you for consideration to appoint Eric Flasher to serve the remaining unexpired term of the at-large member ending December 31st, 2025. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to go over that.
Hearing none, resolution 111, 2023. Mr. Carlson.
Good evening, Board. Resolution 111, 2023 is a resolution to approve an amendment to the Miami Crossing Joint Economic Development District contract, the JED, between Miami Township and the City of Miamisburg. The only reason for amendment is the addition and removal of certain properties. Prior to hearing this resolution, we were required to have a public hearing reviewing these proposed changes. Just quickly to review, it's the addition of a private parcel, which will be the future Mazda dealership here just across from the Township building, addition of the entirety of Vienna Parkway, the addition of Kings Ridge Drive, the addition of Lions Ridge Drive, and the removal of the Miami Township Public Works facility. This public hearing was also held by the City of Miamisburg, after which we were able to collect petitions for private property owners to join. That petition was collected. So this resolution would formally approve this amendment and also, secondly, empower Administrator Snyder to sign the petition to add township roadways and to remove the Miami Township Public Works facility. So this resolution would approve that and be able to forward this on to the city to finalize. And if the board has any questions, I'd be happy to discuss. Thank you.
Hearing none, Mr. McCord, you have resolutions 112, 113, 114, and 115.
Good evening, Board. Resolution 112, 2023 is a request to approve a final amendment of the appropriation of funds for fiscal year 2023. We go back and true up actual collected revenue and actual expenses to report to the county for our annual report of available resources for fiscal year 2024. Resolution 113 is a request request to approve the annual appropriation of funds for fiscal year 2024 based on the budget that was submitted previously for your review and the budget hearing held earlier this month, in addition to feedback we've gotten throughout the process. Let's see. Those two are the, okay. Resolution 114 is a request to authorize Administrator Schneider to enter an agreement for Chief Technology Officer, Chief Information Security Officer consulting services to help define a IT roadmap for our needs going forward in response to aging infrastructure of our IT equipment. And then 115 is an authorization for Mr. Snyder to enter into a lease agreement with the statewide municipal leasing program for 3 replacement police cruisers due to high mileage. And I believe included in your reading materials for this meeting were the supporting documentation as well as a copy of the requests for all 4 resolutions. Happy to answer any questions.
Hearing none, Mr. Snyder, you have a motion, G.
Good evening again, Board. I do have a motion proposed for your consideration tonight to deal with vacation carryover, particularly in one department. We had some staffing shortages earlier in the year, which did make it difficult for department heads to utilize their vacation time while still balancing the operational needs of the departments. So we do allow vacation carryover per our employee manual, so therefore one-time adjustment would require concurrence from the board in order to take that action.
Anyone have any questions? All right, thank you. We will move to the public comment portion of the meeting. This is where residents of the township are invited to share their thoughts with the board. Know your time is being set aside for the board to listen. Your comments are valued and will be taken into consideration. The board will not engage in dialogue at this time. Presentations are limited to 5 minutes each. Is anyone wishing to come forward?
Ms. Deborah Bowen, you may address the podium.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Deborah Sue Bowen, 9800 Islesworth Lane, Miamisburg, Ohio. I'm here tonight. I thank you for listening to me with my issue. I've lived in this area for over 30-some years, and in the villages of Miami, there's an issue now with campers and trailers being parked in their driveways. When I first moved here, I had a camper and a trailer, and I checked with the regulations of the township, and I followed through and found a place outside of the area where I store my stuff. Well, I sent a list early in July and had several conversations with the zoning committee. And out of my list, only 3 items were taken care of. There are still 7 more on the list, and 6 more have been added. I don't know what the township's feelings is on this and how it's being handled, but I think 6 months is a long time because the campers are even being covered over. So that means that they're going to store it there for the winter. I would just like to know if there's any resolution we can get in the area to help with this, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Carlson, any comments on that issue?
Absolutely. I was pulling up Ms. Bowen's email actually at the moment, and I was going to send you one right now to say, let's get on a phone call and talk. I'd love to talk more with you. Make sure we get this resolved. Absolutely needs to be addressed. So perfect. I will make sure that our zoning inspector is aware. I would like to be on that call as well to make sure we coordinate, and we will absolutely follow up with you. Thank you for keeping track of it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think on that same topic, we went through a number of weeks, if not months, without anyone in that zoning enforcement position, which caused us to fall behind on a lot of issues, and we definitely appreciate our residents bringing these matters to our attention. So thank you for coming in. Any other public comments? All right, seeing none, we will close the public comment portion of the meeting and move to consideration of votes of resolutions and motions. I will make a motion to approve Resolution 110, a resolution to appoint a representative to the Hillgrove Union Cemetery Board of Trustees, Mr. Eric Flasher. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Mr. Posey,
Aye.
Mr. Culp.
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 111-2023, a resolution to approve a second amendment to the 2017 amended and restated Miami Crossing Joint Economic Development District contract by and between Miami Township and the City of Miamisburg to add property and to remove property from the Miami Crossing Joint Economic Development District. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 112-2023, a resolution to approve a final amendment to the appropriation of funds for 2023. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 113-2023, a resolution to approve annual appropriation of funds for 2024. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 114-2023, a resolution to authorize an agreement for the Chief Technology, Chief Information Security Officer consultation services. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 115-2023, a resolution to authorize the Township Administrator to enter into an agreement with statewide municipal leasing program. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I will make a motion on the vacation carryover. I move to authorize a one-time additional vacation carryover not to exceed 40 hours for department heads who've not already used all of their vacation time, where significant staffing shortages have limited the availability of said staff to utilize accrued leave.
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
We have no public hearings scheduled. Department head comments. Chief Stegelmeyer.
Good evening, Board. Yes, I just one quick one. I'd like to thank Mr. Snyder and the rest of the trustees and the administration for a nice holiday luncheon today. It was nice to see all the folks that we don't get a chance to see on a daily basis, the road departments and the rest of the staff. So I just wanted to say thanks. It was much appreciated, and looking forward to it next year.
My apologies for not being able in attendance. It seems to happen every year when I have my other board meeting, so.
Good evening, Board. I just wanted to take a moment and thank the Township Administrator and the Community Development Director for working together on an opportunity to submit 2 projects for state capital funding. We won't know until later next year, and if we are awarded on these projects, we will come back for resolution. But I just really want to quick touch base that project number 1 is the potential replacement of our 1992 backhaul that we use for stormwater systems. It would greatly improve our efficiencies and emergency response if that is funded. And the second funded project that we're trying to go for is a replacement of 3 leaf collection machines. As you know, the tax levy didn't continue for our trash collection, so we've been working on opportunities to reduce spending and get longevity out of our machines. The years of them are 1972, 1982, and 2000. So again, we're hoping that these 2 projects are awarded funding, and would love to come back to you with an acceptance letter. So other than that, I just want to thank staff for 2023 and wish happy and safe holidays for everyone.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Carlson.
Just quickly want to echo the comments of Chief and Director Schweikert. Appreciate the coordination between all of our staffs and the rest of administration. As Director Schweikert mentioned, several of these grant opportunities are out there. We're working very hard to find creative revenue sources and bring other monies to the township. Early next year, January or February, we hope to bring presentations for some additional infrastructure projects that we would like to submit applications for. And again, hope to prioritize that going into next calendar year. But again, appreciate their help putting a lot together this year for applications and hope to do that next calendar year. So thank you all.
Ms. Bogner, do you have anything?
I would actually like to thank all the department heads for their work on this year's budget. It has gone the smoothest this year that we have had in my 22 years of being here, and I really appreciate all the work that they've helped in getting everything ready so that tomorrow morning we can submit everything to the county. Thank you.
Is there any truth that our former economic development director was always the holdup, and now that he's out of that position? Mr. McCord?
I echo Penny's appreciation to the staff for all their efforts in creating the budget, and I'm really encouraged by all of this drive to find new revenue sources. So I hope to be coming forward with an amended appropriation or an amended revenue statement this time next year as well.
Mr. Snyder?
Well, again, I'll just echo some of the comments here tonight, but again, want to thank the board for helping sponsor our employee annual luncheon today. We had a great turnout today. Also want to thank all of the staff from the township, and particularly the department heads that have, throughout the course of this year, as we've had a number of different issues and topics come up, remained focused on providing service back out to the residents and making sure that their departments are moving the township forward, and again, keeping that eye on the ball in terms of getting services out that the residents really appreciate and utilize day to day. So, and that's our primary task here as public servants. So that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, sir. Elected official comments. Mr. Klingerman?
Well, 'tis the season. I'd just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Culp?
Yeah, it was great to see the staff at the luncheon today, and I wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Mr. Posey?
I have none.
Scrooge? I have none myself. So we now have an item on the agenda, election of officers. So it's come to my attention in talking with Mr. Snyder and some of the other trustees that we may run into a situation at the January board meeting where we will not have a full complement of trustees, various functions we all participate in. So with that, I'm going to make a motion to suspend for one time the rule governing election of officers under the trustee meeting procedures in order to permit the nomination and election of officers in December 2023 who will serve for the period of January 1, 2024 until the next election of officers in January 2025. This is again due to the potential unavailability of board members on the Board of Trustees in January and the fact that all members have terms continuing or renewed in January. So the slate of trustees will not change in 2024. So this motion would allow us to vote the positions on the board, namely president and vice president, to serve in 2024 at this meeting while we're all present. Is there a second on that motion?
I will second that motion.
Any discussion?
Well, as fiscal officer, I'd like to address the issue then of election of officers for 24.
We need to vote on the motion. So take a
Mr.
roll.
Posey. Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
Mr. Culp.
Aye.
All right, we will now move forward with the election of officers. Mr. Klingerman.
As fiscal officer, I say I'd like to address the issue of election of officers for 24. So I'd like to ask for nominations for president.
I nominate Mr. Culp.
Any other nominations? I'd like to nominate Mr. Culp as well. So what I'd like to do now is take a vote with each trustee. Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Posey?
Yes.
Mr. Culp?
Abstain.
So as new president, you may take nominations for vice president. You can do that this evening as Mr. Morris presides, or you can wait till the first January meeting to take nominations for vice president.
Then we can wait.
Very good.
All righty. Congratulations, Mr. Culp, serving as president of the Board of Trustees in the year 2024. We have no other issues on the agenda except to go into executive session. I will make a motion to go into executive session at 6:19 for the purposes of conferring with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject to pending or imminent court action in accordance with ORC 121.22 subsection G3, and to adjourn into executive session for details relative to the security arrangements and emergency response protocols for a public body or public office if disclosure of the matters discussed could reasonably be expected to jeopardize the security of the public body or public office in accordance with ORC 12122 subsection G6. Is there a second?
I will second.
We will now go into executive session. We
Need a
will,
roll call vote.
oh, we're going to roll call that one vote.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Posey?
Yes.
Mr. Culp?
Yes.
We will not be taking any action coming out of executive session. We will adjourn directly after executive session. Thank you all for coming.